This is Michael Saltzman from Blue Sky Bio, and I'd like to welcome everybody who's joining us for today's presentation. As usual, if you have any questions during the presentation, please enter them into the chat box, and please make sure to complete the webinar attendance form so that we can send you the CE credit. Usually arrives via email within around 1 week after the presentation. Today's presentation is the 8th presentation of the Everything Blue Sky Plan webinar series. And the point of this series is to give practical applications, practical tools that you could use in your practice that will help you and your practice, and of course your patients, to make the entire process flow, to make the entire treatment a better experience. And while today's presentation is not focusing directly on the Blue Sky Plan software, and we're going to be talking about BioBigBox. BioBigBox is definitely a very practical tool that could help you in your practice. And as digital becomes more of an integral part of our everyday lives, BioBigBox becomes more and more important. The previous topics that we talked about in the webinar series, very quickly, we discussed the introduction to guided surgery, making a surgical guide based on a model-based surgical guide, process flow in the wizard. We talked about creating a surgical guide via an impression inversion technique, the different features and functionality in the normal mode, creating a custom surgical guide fabrication, creating a surgical guide for edentulous arches. The ortho module was the previous presentation, and today's presentation, which we're going to be talking about, biobigbox.com. The recordings are available via blueskyplan.com. You can watch them, you can get up to speed and catch up on past missed presentations. The next presentation that's going to be happening in around 2 weeks is going to be discussing the new denture module that we've recently released currently to the Facebook Blue Sky Bio user group, and in around 1 week's time or so, it's going to be going live on the Blue Sky Bio website. We've also created a web page that has all information regarding the denture module. It includes sample data sets so you can get used to it, video instructions, information regarding printers, printing materials, scanners, denture teeth, burrs, everything that you need in order to get started with fabricating your own dentures could be found on the denture page on the Blue Sky Plan website. The URL for that is blueskyplan.com/dentures. The topic of today's presentation, as I mentioned, is biobigbox.com, Blue Sky Bio's HIPAA-compliant file transfer, storage, and email system. And the way that this came about is as users started using Blue Sky Plan and creating larger and larger files. And of course, you have the CT scans and you have a lot of other digital data that needs to be stored, that needs to be transferred. You need a secure way that's, of course, HIPAA compliant to store and to transfer all of this digital data. So out of this need, Blue Sky Bio went and created biobigbox.com. And biobigbox, as we've developed it and continued to add features and functionality, has really become a fantastic and powerful tool that has a lot of different features, a lot of different functionalities, a lot of different ways that it could help you in your practice. And that's what we're going to be discussing during today's presentation. Now, biobigbox includes 3 or 4 different sections or different modules that you could use. It has transfer functionality to send really any size files with CT scans, Blue Sky Plan files, any digital file from user to user. It has sync functionality that you could use either just to get a lot of digital data online. For example, if you're a scan center and you're constantly scanning different scans, you could designate a folder, and that folder will automatically sync directly to your BioBigBox account, and you could share it from there with a click with whoever you want. Or of course, if you have your computer, you want to back up your data, you want to have your data accessible, you want to have it in the cloud, you want to be able to access it from any computer, from any location, then you could use the sync functionality as well. We have a HIPAA compliant email functionality which, as we're going to see, when you send out an email, instead of putting the body of the email directly into the email, it inserts a link, the recipient clicks on the link, and then they're able to view the content of the email in a HIPAA-compliant, secured manner. We also have functionality to create an upload page, which we'll see later as well, where you could design, use your own logo, use your own background, make your own form, and then you could use that page to accept any files. You could send out the link, you could put a button on your website. It integrates directly into your web page if you like. And you share that link, users get to your own designed page. They could put in their own information, fill out the forms that you fill out the fields that you created, and upload files of any size that get sent directly to you. And what's great about BioBigBox, like many other developments from Blue Sky Bio, is that it could be used either for free or for very low cost. Most of the BioBigBox functionality can be used for free. The paid options do allow some more advanced functionality. It allows for a greater amount of storage, but you could go ahead and you could start using BioBigBox. You could create your account and get started with it really at no charge. And as you become more familiar with it, you want to get more storage capacity, you want to unlock some advanced functionality, such as the upload page, then you could go ahead and switch over to a paid account. Another great thing about BioBigBox is that it's designed to be HIPAA compliant. You're not dealing with a system that could be used in a HIPAA compliant manner. You're not dealing with a system that really has risks built into it. For example, if you have a link and the link is able to be forwarded to other individuals, either because of a virus or unintentionally, and users could click on that link and download data, then that is a not HIPAA compliant system. And what BioBigBox does is the whole system was designed to be HIPAA compliant. And we designed, in that particular example, what we call a smart link. So if that link does get forwarded or does get sent and someone clicks on it, then it won't be accessible by anybody with the link. It will only be accessible by the people it was intended to reach. So the whole system was really built to give you a suite of different HIPAA compliant tools that you could get started and start using at little or no cost, and of course, use in a secure and HIPAA compliant manner. And of course, all the data that's there is uploaded and it's stored in your account in your cloud. So from wherever you are, from whichever computer you're on, you have access, you could download, you could use that data. We're going to see how the BioBigBox website built very clean, very clear, very easy to use in intuitive and accessible manner. Just a quote from Dr. Michael Scherer, emphasizing the points and the emphasis of the advantages that BioBigBox offers. And when you integrate it into your workflows, into your practice, into your storage techniques, you see how valuable and how easy it is to use. How you're able to share data with the proper people, include the proper messages, the proper patient names. Everything could be done directly and easily and conveniently from within BioBigBox. Now, BioBigBox has taken on even more of an importance within the Blue Sky Bio tools more recently with the release of Lab Pronto. If you haven't yet been introduced to Lab Pronto is essentially having a network of top-tier laboratories waiting for you to submit your lab work, your case to them. The way that it works is this very similar concept of Uber. It's the Uber for dentistry. You could submit your lab case. The lab that has the available time claims the job, gets it done, turns it around with great turnaround time, very reasonable prices, and it's a fantastic system. Now, the reason I'm talking about Lab Pronto now is because Lab Pronto uses the BioBigBox infrastructure to transfer the files, to make the files accessible. It's using the backbone of BioBigBox in order to transfer the files and keep everything secure on Lab Pronto. And Lab Pronto is accessible via labpronto.com. We've also built it directly into the Blue Sky Plan software. So you could go ahead and put your lab order through. You could actually send the case that you're working on at the very moment just by pressing the Lab Pronto button. All of the data, the payment information, your address is kept in a secure, stored manner. So submitting a case and submitting an order is very quick and easy. And you could attach the relevant files and get your lab work done that way. And again, the Lab Pronto system is working off of BioBigBox. So all of the data that you're submitting to the labs and all the data that you're getting back from the labs, the completed cases and everything is stored in your BioBigBox account, which you could access at any point. BioBigBox is also in and of itself built in to the Blue Sky Plan software. So if you're working on a case and you want to send it to somebody, you want to send it to an associate, you want to send it for a consultation, you want to send it to anybody, we have the button in the horizontal toolbar on the top of Blue Sky Plan where you could just press the upload button, you put in the email address you want to send it to, or you select the laboratory you want to send it to, put in any messages, and you could go ahead and send it out. Now, the person that you're sending it to, you don't need to be concerned if they have a BioBigBox account, if they don't have a BioBigBox account. They'll get a notification via their standard normal email. They'll be able to log in and download the data that you're sending them. We also have a button to open up BioBigBox directly from within the Blue Sky Plan software. You could see the button that the arrow is pointing to in the horizontal toolbar. So you could access your data and your files in BioBigBox directly from the Blue Sky Plan software. Okay, let's take a look at BioBigBox and its functionality. So the first thing that we could see is if you don't have an account, registration is very quick and very easy. You're putting in your email address, you're putting in your password. You could put in your cell phone as an additional way of logging in. So instead of remembering your password, you could put in your cell phone, and then you'll get a key sent to your cell phone which could be used to log in. So it takes a minute. You sign up for BioBigBox and you get an account. Now, because it's built to be HIPAA compliant, it is important to have an account and to be logged in. There are other file transfer systems, for example, that you could just go to their website and you could just use it. Okay, that's not properly being handled. If a user could just use the system without being logged in, without having a secure manner, then it's problematic and it's not going to be HIPAA compliant. So when you're using BioBigBox, you do have the additional step to make sure you're logged in. It's a very important step and it's a necessary step. Now, once you're logged in, you see the box that's currently surrounded by the red frame, and that box could be used to send or upload files. We've made it as powerful and versatile as possible. You could drag and drop files into it. You could select one file. You could select multi-files, multi-select. You could even just select a folder, even if it's unzipped. You could select a folder and it will upload the entire folder. If you're uploading more than one file at a time, then BioBigBox will automatically create for you a folder with all of those files in it. You could rename it if you like. You'll have a folder which you could go into with all the data, with all the files that you're uploading at a particular time. Now, once you drop files into that box or select files, then you're going to have the share file window come up. If you don't want to share it with anybody, you just want to have in your BioBigBox account, that's fine. You just X out the window, you close the window, and the files won't be shared. If you do want to share it, sharing it is just a matter of putting in your recipient's email address, putting in any message that you want to include with the file, and you see there are two checkboxes there. If you want to automatically have the file deleted after a certain number of days, you could do that. You also have the checkbox there that says make this file public. Now, this is the only functionality in BioBigBox which could be used in a non-HIPAA compliant manner. And when you click that checkbox, you're going to get a big warning that comes up on your screen. Are you sure that your files do not contain any personal health information? You need to confirm that that is the case. And then you could go ahead and share the file. And when you make it public, then it's going around what I described earlier. The link that's shared could then be accessed and the data could be downloaded by anybody. So before you want to use that functionality, you want to be completely certain and sure that what you're sharing, you mean to share with anybody with the link, and it's bypassing our smart link share system. Now, once you send the file, the recipient receives a notification. Okay, they get the email sent to the normal email. They could go and either click view my data and see them BioBigBox, or they could go ahead and click download now. And this will work with anybody if they have a BioBigBox account or if they don't have a BioBigBox account, so you don't need to be concerned about that. Now, once they download the file, then the sender receives confirmation as well, which is very useful and very important. If you're sending important files, you want to know that the recipient has downloaded and access to files. So when they do that, then you get a notification confirming that they have downloaded the file sent to them. Now, the way that the file list works is similar to your email. If it's a new file that you've just received, then the background will be white. Or if there's a new message that you've received connected to a particular file, then the background will be white. If you're sending a file or if you've already downloaded the file, then you'll have the gray background indicating that it's already been downloaded or read. On top of the file list window, right next to the words file list, it will show you how much data of your account you already used and how much available storage space there is left. The checkboxes to the left of the files allow you to check a particular file or folder and then use the buttons that you have there to download, delete, share, or rename. You're able to sort the file list either to show you all the files that you've sent, or the files that you've received. Now, we put in information directly next to the file or folder name, so you could, at a glance, see a lot of important information about it. You could see, first of all, the number of times it's been downloaded. So if you shared it with 1, 2, 3, or 100 people, it shows you how many times the file has been downloaded. It shows you, of course, the size of the file, the date that you've added it, the date that's last shared, who it's shared with. So all that information about who the file is shared with is always accessible and always available. And it shows you the number of times that it's been shared. Now, we also added in features that make it more useful for dentistry. For example, you have the patient name. So you could attach to a particular file the patient name. And that's useful because you're able to search based on the patient name. If you have files, folders associated with a particular patient, so first of all, you could put them all into one folder if you like. Another option is also just to label the files with the patient's name, and you could search based on the patient's name. You also have a column for status. So if you're sending the files for approval to somebody, or you want to get their feedback, you could, or you just want to have a note to yourself, you could change the status of the files or the folder. And this way you can keep track of things that you have to revisit, things that are already completed. If you're waiting for somebody's feedback, all of that could be kept track of. We also built in a messaging system, which is connected to the particular file. So you can see in the rightmost column, you have a messages column, and you could attach a message. If you're sending a file to somebody, you could attach a message, and they could respond, and you could carry on having a conversation this way. So whatever notes or discussions that are happening relevant to a particular file set are automatically connected to that particular file. So imagine if you have a Blue Sky plan file for a particular patient and you send it to an associate for consultation. You could go ahead and upload the Blue Sky plan. You could attach the patient's name. You can message back and forth with the associate. And what's great is when you come back to it, then you'll have all the data associated with that data set and with that patient all packaged and connected and accessible to the data, to the files that were uploaded. Okay, and one of the most important functionalities is the search box. Now, the search box, as I mentioned, allows you to search based on the patient's name, allows you to search based on the file name, allows you to search based on who was shared with, allows you to search based on the messages that are connected to a particular file. So the search box allows you to access whatever information you're looking for very quickly and very easily. The messaging system, as I mentioned, so you have the ability to add a message, and then you can respond to messages or add additional messages. All of that could be printed and downloaded also. So if you have a patient's folder or file, you could go ahead and print or download the messages associated with that if you want to save it in a different location or have a hard copy. Have a hard copy as well. And the number of messages, so if you're having a conversation with somebody regarding a particular data set, the number of messages going back and forth appears in the rightmost column. And anytime a new message is received, then the file's background changes from gray to white, indicating that there's a new message associated with that file. Another great functionality that we built into BioBigBox, so you could see, besides just being a file system or a transfer system, where we've put in particular and specific information to make the system as useful and helpful as possible. One of the problems I encounter with some other file sharing systems is that somebody will share data with me, but they'll share it to a different email address. I have my private email address, I have my Blue Sky Bio email address, and they'll share with one and not the other. And then I have to know which one they're sharing it with. I might not have access to it, and I have to ask them to reshare it with access to the other one. We've built into BioBigBox's system, you could add in email aliases. So if I have 3 or 4 email addresses, I could put them all into the same BioBigBox account. Now, if anybody sends a file to any of those email addresses, it will all go into the same BioBigBox account. I'll be able to access it from any of those email addresses. We call that functionality email aliases, and you can see that you're able to access that from the drop-down menu that appears under your email address. It says email aliases, and in the bottom left, you can see how that functionality works. You could just add aliases. You could add several different email addresses, and they'll all go into your BioBigBox account. And when anybody shares files with any of those email addresses, you'll be able to access it directly from your BioBigBox account. So everything that we described up until now goes under, let's say, the file sharing functionality. And everything that I described until now is completely free of charge. You could go ahead, you could start using it. And the sync functionality as well. The sync functionality is the second application or the second module that I want to discuss within BioBigBox. So the sync functionality, what it does, you download a very, very small application and you install it on your computer. You could define a folder which will sync, and anything that you put into that folder will automatically get uploaded to your BioBigBox account. It's not going to appear under your file list. It's going to appear under a second list called sync list. So if you always want to have your data backed up, then that's a great application. Just put into a particular folder, it gets uploaded. You're a scan center, you always want to have the CT scans uploaded, so you could go ahead and share them. You just put them into the folder, they get uploaded, you click the share button, and it's shared. Okay, you want to have your cases available to discuss, to share, put into the folder for the sync, and it always automatically gets uploaded. So what it's doing essentially is it's saving the step where you have to manually select files or folders, or you have to drag and drop. Whatever you put into the sync folder, boom, it gets uploaded, and it's available in your BioBigBox account. To start syncing a folder, you install that application. I'll just go back a second. You have the button to download the desktop application. When you click sync in the top right toolbar, you have the button to download the desktop application. You go ahead and you download it, install it. Once it's installed, any folder that you have on your computer, you could right click and choose stop sync with BioBigBox. That then becomes the folder that will automatically sync. anything that you put into that folder will get uploaded. And you'll have the access to the BioBigBox application in the bottom right corner of your computer, right next to the clock. You'll have a B for BioBigBox. You right click on it and it will open up the menu, including, will show you in the second row, the folder that you've chosen to automatically sync. So it's as simple as that. You right click on the folder, choose Start Stop Sync with BioBigBox. Anything that you put into there, additional folders, additional files, will automatically sync up to your BioBigBox account. Of course, we have the ability to restore the data. So if you've switched computers or your computer crashed or anything like that, and now you have your synced data that's there, you could choose the restore data option and restore to location on your computer. So it's a great way to back up data, to keep data available and accessible in the cloud, and go ahead and restore it when necessary. The third application that's included within BioBigBox is email functionality. Okay, you can see it in the horizontal toolbar in the top right. Go ahead and click on Mail, and it will bring up a very easy to use and clear mail interface. Anytime you send out an email from that interface, and just a very important point is that this works with your existing email address. You don't need a new email address. I've heard about other systems where you need to set up a new account and you can't use your primary email address. Here, you could use the email address you want to be using, and when you send out emails, then the recipient will see it coming from your own email address, from an email address that they recognize. So it's not going to be coming from an unfamiliar or strange email address. So the interface, very easy to use. Click Compose, you create an email, you send the email out. The recipient gets an email that includes a link which they click on in order to view the message. So this makes sure that this makes sure that everything is perfectly secure and is done in a HIPAA compliant manner. They click on the link, the message shows up, they could respond, they could read it, they could do whatever they usually do with emails, but it's the one extra layer of security by sending out this link and not sending out the content of the email directly. The fourth application or module that we have within BioBigBox is a personalized upload page. And this allows you to create a website or a page on a website where you could customize the URL, you could put in your own logo, you could put in your own title, you could create a form with particular fields that you want, personalize the background, and via this page, via this form, you could receive large data sets. So it's your own upload page that you're able to easily customize and set up. It could either be linked to your website via a button or a link, or it could be embedded. There's an embed code that you could take and you could embed it directly onto a page in your website. So this is accessible. This is a paid functionality. It's only available with the enterprise account, but once you have an enterprise account, then you click on the email address and choose upload settings. And then it takes you to a form where you could select and customize the relevant URL, web address that you want it to be. You could upload a logo and a background image, and each one of them you could link to someplace else. So to another address online. So if you put in your logo and you wanted to link to your homepage, then you could link it. You could have the logo linked to your homepage. Background as well. If you want the functionality that if somebody clicks on the background and they go somewhere to a different web address, then you could set that up as well. The section underneath allows you to give the page a title, a header, and you could also build a form there. So you could enter the text that you want to appear to the left of the field. You could decide how large or how many rows you want the field to be, and you can decide if it's a required field. So if you want to make sure that every time somebody uploads a file to you, you get their full name, you get their phone number, you get a description or whatever, and you create those fields, you create that form, and that will appear on your personalized upload page. So it's a really very easy process, very easy to set up. And you come up here, you come up, this is the page that I created using the form, put in a background, put in a logo, gave it a title, created the form that I want. Now a user that comes here, they complete the form, they choose the file, and it gets uploaded directly into my own BioBigBox account. Okay, this is the pricing structure for BioBigBox. So you could definitely start using it. You have the free plan that gives you access to most of the functionality. You have the sync, you have the sending, you're able to receive the HIPAA compliant emails, and all of that's free. So you can take advantage of a fair or almost all of the BioBigBox functionality at no charge. We then have paid plans that include more storage and some more features and functionality. The Pro plan includes the ability, the basic and Pro and Enterprise plan includes the ability to send and receive HIPAA compliant emails. The Pro plan includes more storage, and the Enterprise includes even more storage and the ability to set up your private personalized upload page. You're able to also purchase extra storage using the extra storage plan that we see all the way to the right. So what I think really makes the BioBigBox system unique is that it includes the full package of solutions. You might have a solution that does one and not the other, or you might have a solution that doesn't have some of the features or functionalities that you want. You might have a solution that could be used in a HIPAA compliant way, but is not necessarily HIPAA compliant. What we've done and what we've set a goal to do is to create a package that for a very reasonable price or even free, you could get everything that you need to manage your digital data. That's what we've set out to create with BioBigBox, and that's what BioBigBox has been created to do and created to include. As a bonus for everybody who's attending this webinar or watching this video, the 2018 is a coupon code. So if you go ahead and you want to sign up for any of the paid packages, you could go ahead and enter the coupon code 2018 webinar, and that will give you 50% off any paid package for the first 3 months. Okay, so that's a bonus for people who are attending today's webinar or watching the video. You enter 2018 webinar, just like that, just like it appears on the screen, and that will give you 50% off for the first 3 months. Where can I learn more? How can you contact us or get any help? So of course, we always recommend being part of the Blue Sky Bio Facebook group. We monitor the group. The group also contains a very large number of dentists who provide help and support to each other, suggestions, comments, feedback, anything connected to Blue Sky Bio, BioBigBox, Blue Sky Plan. All of that is discussed in the Facebook group. So if you have questions or suggestions or comments, the best place to go first is, of course, the Facebook group. We also have support plan at blueskybio.com and the phone number that appears on the screen. And the website blueskyplan.com has a wealth of educational information connected to Blue Sky Plan, and useful information regarding BioBigBox as well. We've added very recently to the blueskyplan.com website information regarding the new denture module, both in the education section for educational information and other very useful information. So we definitely recommend going to blueskyplan.com for that. And of course, if you haven't yet checked out Lab Pronto, dentists are using it, dentists are loving it. Check out labpronto.com or from within Blue Sky Plan and click on that Lab Pronto icon. It allows you again to submit lab work to a network of top tier labs. The one that has the available time takes the job, so you get a very good turnaround time, very reasonable pricing. It streamlines the entire process of ordering lab work. So that pretty much wraps up today's webinar presentation. Please make sure to complete the webinar attendance form so we could send you the CE credit for attending. We have the upcoming webinar in around 2 weeks discussing the new denture module, and information regarding that webinar and additional webinar sessions could be seen at blueskyplan.com. I'd like to thank everybody for attending and enjoy the rest of your day.